What is going on? My name is Rami Pruitt. You are watching another Black Tech Experience live. And today we're talking about, is ChatGPT Search a Google killer? But before we get into that, I want to talk about a few things. Definitely have other things on my mind that I would like to talk about, such as I have finally finished my rounds of interviews, and I'm happy. Like, I can't tell you how much sacrifice went into studying to get into places like Meta or Microsoft or anything like that. And I don't know. I did not get. I still have one in the pipeline, which is Meta, but I did not get as many as I would have liked. But along the journey, I did learn a lot, and I wanted to share some of that with you guys. So before I do that, so just to recap, I believe I did around 8 or 10 interviews, um, or talked to 8 or 10 different companies such as Coinbase, Microsoft, Meta, Square. Let me think. DoorDash, Uber. Those are some of the main ones that I talked to that I did interviews with, and some of them I didn't like. With Coinbase, they were only hiring for seniors, and so I went ahead and said no. And some of them, like, how many on sites did I get? I got an on site with Microsoft. I got an on site with Meta. I got a on site with Uber. And so I think, yeah, I've gotten extremely close a lot of different times. And I think the last one, which I did with Meta, is the one where I got the closest. And yeah, in all of my experiences, I would say that Meta um, has given me the best candidate experience as a engineer. And I would like that is because Meta, I felt like my interviewers treated and I've seen this at other companies, but I felt like my interviewers at Meta were treated the assignment like a collaboration. They were always willing to tell me when what direction to go, which they would score me the highest. I've told you guys, I don't know if you've seen in my other live, but I talked about how I was doing an interview with DoorDash, and I asked this guy, I was like, hey, can I take this? Can I go this direction? And he said yes. And then I ended up solving the question, and he still didn't like pass me for the interview. And so I think that just goes to show that there are a lot of bad interviewers out there. There are a lot of people who they're not interested in giving people the best experience possible. They don't care about what they want is to use this as a means to get promoted within the company instead of making sure that everybody who would like to work for their company gets a fair shot at demonstrating their abilities. And I'd also like to talk about how much I've grown as an engineer. I think when I started, or I think everybody, but I would like to admit that I've had a lot of victim mentality in my career. I think back in the day, I was less studious in trying to comprehend the small details and nuances of leak code problems. And today, with the foundation that I have made over myself over the last 8 years, I have grown tremendously. I was able to tackle problems, a lot of different hard leak code problems that the past me would have ran from because, yeah, they just looked hard. And man, I can't tell you guys, like, as you get up into my rank, as you become a more senior software engineer, people ask you to solve more and more vague problems. And so, what I do like about leak code hard problems is that a lot of times the solution is not obvious. The answer is not obvious. The answer, you can spend weeks looking at it and you still might not get the right answer. But once you look at a solution of a lead code hard problem, you realize there is a optimal solution. There is a way to break this problem down into a way that is easy. And so, yeah, as I definitely want to grow into an engineer that is more focused on solving vague problems. And I think that's one of the main things that the criticisms that I have gotten as an engineer over my interviewing period is that I have not tackled the most vague problems just yet. And so, and that's fine. I feel like in the current culture that I'm at right now, I'll have plenty of opportunities to do that. But just want to tell you guys that I'm growing and learning and I'm becoming better. And I hope you're on your journey of becoming, learning more and getting better. And yeah, it, I don't see anything that I've done as a failure. Everything happens for a reason. When it is my time to leave my current job and go somewhere else, um, it will be my time. It's nothing more than that. But yeah, just in short, the game is ugly. There's a lot of human error. There's a lot of bad interviewers, but there are great companies that are really focused on finding your type of genius. And so you should always be focused on that. But yeah, that's it. Love you guys. I guess we'll get into the introduction to ChatGPT Search. Let me pull it up. Are y'all using ChatGPT Search? But I'm gonna make this a bit bigger. And let's add this page. All right. Introducing ChatGPT Search. Get fast and timely answers for links to relevant websites. I was kind of confused with this UI. So yeah, I guess they're showing a little video. I kind of like this. I really do love this. And I've heard, looks like if you guys are having trouble viewing the live, let me know. But it looks like a lot of the way that we are traversing the internet is going to change greatly in the next 2 to 3 years. I don't know if you guys have seen Arc. I'm using the Arc browser, but they're talking about how about instead of you asking your web browser to go find a web page, what if we build a web page for you in a way that's more intuitive to you? I'm really excited for that. I think that's what's coming in the future with some of these LLMs, is that I've seen a lot of crappy UIs on the internet that I did not like. Like, for example, I don't know if you guys have booked a ticket in a hotel, but I have found that the what is it? The UIs for that can be such a pain. Like I've had to spend hours doing that. And if we had some of these agents able to break that down into a more simplistic version, maybe not more simplistic, but a more intuitive design, I would pay a lot more money for that. And so let's get back into the article. And I'm going to, let's see if I can dim it. Do y'all see that? No, it doesn't look like I dimmed the lights a little bit, but ChatGPT can now search the web in a much better way than before. You can get fast and timely answers with links to relevant web sources, which you would have previously needed to get a search engine for. This blends the benefit of natural language interface with the value to up-to-date sports sources, news, stocks, and quotes, and more. ChatGPT will choose to search the web based on what you ask. You can manually choose to search by clicking the web search icon. Okay. So yeah, that's the confusion that I was having. I was like, what is this web search icon about? Search will be available at chatgpt.com as well as on the desktop and mobile apps. All ChatGPT Plus teams and users, as well as Search GPT waitlist users, will have access today. Enterprise EDU users will get access for the next few weeks. We'll roll out a free users over the coming months. Free users? We'll roll out all free users over the coming months. Designed to get better answers. Getting useful answers on the web can take a lot of effort. It often requires multiple searches and digging through links to find quality sources and the right information for you. Now, chat can get you to the better answer. Ask a question in a more natural conversational way. ChatGPT can choose to respond with information from the web. Go deeper with follow-up questions, and ChatGPT will consider the full context of chat to get better answers for you. Yeah, I can't talk about how much of that is a help when I'm like using ChatGPT and they add context. Like I'm asking one question and then I ask a second question, it gets more specific. I think that's one of the main benefits of ChatGPT over something like Google Search is it's more conversational based and it feels like I have my own personal assistant. Let's see. Where can I go to dinner in Postino Friday night? Wow, I didn't know you could use it like that. So it's like it's getting dinner reservations. I'm really excited, man. I can't tell you guys how excited I am for the products that are about to come out in the next 3 to 5 years, or no, in the next year, with these agents and things being auto done for us. I think I spent a lot of my life making decisions that I feel like I would not like to, and so really excited. Um, Yeah, I think the more I used to be an AI doomer in the sense that I was afraid that it was going to take my job or whatever, but I'm really excited to see what new problems I focus on with AI taking some of the more, what do you call it? The more tedious task of my life away. So we also partner with news and data providers to add up to date information and new visual designs for categories like weather, stocks, sports, news, and maps. So I guess we're looking at the weather. I don't know if I'd ever ask ChatGPT about the weather though. Why, as the latest trading season, the Nvidia Corporation reflecting a 58? Yeah, I guess they're giving us market information, stocks, sports. Huh? Asking ChatGPT about sports. That sounds really cool. News. I'm glad. I think the worst thing that AI could do is its ability to spread misinformation. And so this is huge. The ability to be able to check the sources as well as have a conversation with AI will give us a better chance of understanding the or being able to fact check what these AI models are doing and make sure that there's no misuse between the corporations who are controlling the AI. And so, yeah, I guess. Oh, it has maps. It has maps. That's amazing. I don't know what I would use this for, but maybe there's an app idea in it somewhere. So, ChatGPT Search promises to better highlight and attribute information with trustworthy news sources, benefiting audiences while expanding the reach of publishers like ourselves with produce and premium journalism. Pam Weisterstein, president of Vox Media. Go straight to the source. Chat now includes links to sources such as news articles and blog posts, giving you a way to learn more. Click the sources and buttons below the response to open up the sidebar for references. That's great. We are convinced that AI search will be in the near future and for next generations a primary way to access information. And partnering with OpenAI positions Le Monde at the forefront of the shift. It allows us to test innovations at an early stage while safeguarding journalism's core values and integrity. Great. ChatGPT Search connects people with the original, high quality content from web and make it part of their conversation By integrating search with the chat interface, users can engage with information in a new way. While content owners gain new opportunities to reach a broader audience, we hope to help users discover publishers and websites while bringing more choice to search. And what are they going to say? As AI reshapes the media landscape, Axel Spring ships partnerships with AI to open up tremendous opportunities for innovative advancements. Together, we're driving new business models to ensure journalism remains both trustworthy and profitable. That's great. Yeah. I'm going to ask you guys in the chat, is there anything that you feel like you would still use Google for? Let me read. Yeah. We collaborate extensively with the news industry and carefully listen to feedback from our global partnerships. I don't know if that's interesting to me. I'm going to skip down a little bit. How it works and what comes next. The search model is fine-tuned version of GPT-4 Omni, post-trained using novel synthetic data generation techniques, including distilling outputs from OpenAI O1 Preview. ChatGPT Search leverages third-party search providers as well as context provided directly by our partners to provide the information users are looking for. Learn more here. Thanks for feedback from SearchGPT Prototype. We brought the best of SearchGPT experience into ChatGPT. We plan to keep improving search, particularly in areas like shopping and travel, and leverage the reasoning capabilities of OpenAI O1 series to do deeper research. We also plan to bring out new research experiments to advanced voice and Canvas, as well as to free and logged out users in the future. ChatGPT Plus team users can try it out today at chatgpt.com. All right. Shoot. Oh, man. I thought I ended the stream. I clicked the link. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm trying to pull up the link. All right. No, that's not it. I'm doing the wrong thing. All right. Let's do that. And copy. All right. There we are. We're on the ChatGPT search. All right. Do you guys have any questions you would want me to ask? Okay, I think somebody answered them. There are still use cases for Google that AI doesn't. All right. I'm happy to listen to you, Kay. I'm trying to think. I cannot think of one reason why. I've used this a little bit, right? I'm not sure why I would use Google at this point. I really cannot see it because when I've used Google in the past, sometimes I had to go to different pages in order to find the answer that I'm looking for, and ChatGPT is giving me the answer. Sometimes I've had to check behind ChatGPT when it hallucinates. And yeah, let me see. It looks like my internet connection is not the best that I've liked. Just gonna double check it to make sure everything is put in. But yeah. Let's pull it up. You might not be looking for answers. I don't know what I would be looking at ChatGPT, or I don't know what I would be using Google search if I'm not looking for answers or to information. Providing ChatGPT search results are accurate with reasonable margins of error. I see it as a credible alternative for Google search. Let's dive deeper and put it through paces. Yeah, I guess maybe hold your horses. I can feel that for my guy View Station. Maybe I'm just jumping the gun here. But you know what I think is even interesting? I think one day we're going to start seeing ads in ChatGPT search. I think that's the only way to really monetize this thing globally. Other than, actually, we're paying $20 a month to use it. So I guess there's that. We don't have ads yet. But man, when I think about Netflix, we never saw ads in Netflix, but man, they are really fighting to like start showing us more and more ads in there. And so although ChatGPT is not showing ads today, I think people are going to start paying in order to for ChatGPT to start to recommend their businesses to people. And so, yeah, let's see. I remember I was like, guys, I'm a content creator, and I try to make like a thumbnail. Oh, also, like, you guys see that they have this type head system where it shows you like recent searches. I think that's extremely helpful as well. On video, chat doesn't show images or videos. Let's show you. All right, so let's try this. I'll type in something like, um, I am making a thumbnail about reacting to ChatGPT Search. Can you help me? Let's see what it does. There it is. So yeah, you see, doesn't show images or videos. It doesn't show videos, but yeah, look at this. It's giving me. I think these would be some terrible thumbnails all by itself, but it's searching for images for me, right? It's giving me. Oh, I guess it's giving me sources, which I think is cool, right? Test different designs, avoid cutting. They give me ideas. So yeah, it is showing images, but it's not really doing anything. It's doing a lot more than what I would want. Like, I could, if I ask this question in Google right now, like, it's gonna maybe find me some web pages with some ideas, but it's not going to read it and give me answers like this. Although Google is going to integrate their Gemini model and to have results like this. And yeah, I think it's probably something that I want to look up. Like, how is Google responding to? Let's ask ChatGPT that. How is Google responding to ChatGPT search? And is it too late? And let's ask it: Will it kill Google search? Or I want to say traditional Google search. And let's ask, see what it has to say about it. Yeah, integrating advanced AI features, Google introduced search center for experience. Despite these advancements, traditional Google search remains robust. Recent reports indicate Google search market share is experiencing some decline due to the rise of AI chatbots like ChatGPT. Search methods, it is unlikely to replace traditionally Google search entirely. Google proactive integration with AI features is dominant market propositions, suggests that it will continue to be a leading player in the search industry. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I'm just all into the hype. Or maybe I'm just reading into what ChatGPT is saying. Does ChatGPT rely on Google itself in many cases? So I would say no. As a software engineer, um, actually, I've heard of Microsoft Bing stealing some of the results from Google, and Google sued Microsoft over that. I guess it's a rumor. I would have to look up the article to give you the straight facts, but making a search engine is definitely possible for a startup with the right resources. I could make a web scraper. I remember, so I told you guys I was interviewing. And I'm not going to tell you which company, but one of the company I was interviewing with asked me to design a web crawler. And so I've even had teammates in my current job who have worked in the web crawling space. And so it's not hard to make. I don't think it's beyond the talent of the people who work at OpenAI to make a search engine. Do I think I'm pretty sure they're using something from inside it. They're not using Google. That's my point. And I'll end it there. And this is really a school year, but Open Perplex is running a Docker container, the best search tool you can find. I programmed a research uptake tool that does 3 layers of AI consolidation of 15 full sources. That's interesting. It sounds like man, I really would like to talk more about some of the things you guys are doing with AI, but yeah. So yeah, behind these search engines, somebody is crawling the web. Like if you look at the links on a page, like you store the raw HTML text, and then you like you just store web pages, and then crawl the sub web pages of that page, and then you do that. You probably, if you write it in C, you probably could crawl the whole internet and store it in a database if you had the resources. And then from there, I guess you could use some type of machine learning model in order to accurately crawl your or store your database in a way that's quick and accurate in order to get the information you need. So YouTube is a key component of Google search. Yeah. Introduce. Thanks for reading. Yeah. You think AI will be able to beat AI in his prime? I'm kind of confused with this question, but I guess I'm gonna end the video for anybody that's still there. Oh, I guess I can send that off. All right, we're back to just me. Um, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Really excited to see Allen Iverson. That's what I was thinking you were talking about. Do you think Allen Iverson will be able to beat Allen Iverson in his prime in basketball? You think AI will be able to beat Allen Iverson versus artificial intelligence? I'm not sure. This question is pretty abstract, but I don't know. Yeah. Probably just study some more system design. Oh yeah, I wanted to go back to some of the earlier questions before I got in here. The interesting part of system design is you need to know it, even if your job never gives you a chance to do it. You're exactly right. If you're not in a job that is giving you the opportunity to design systems, you are going to struggle in this industry to make it to the top. Like when I was interviewing at Meta, the first question, actually, when I was interviewing at Meta and Uber, the first question these guys asked me is like, what is the most complicated project that you've ever worked on? And I told the guy at Meta, and he was all like, I'm having a hard time understanding why this is a hard problem. And I was like, my feelings was kind of hurt. I was like, dang, like, this is a lot. Like, I was using Lambda, Dynamo streams. I've integrated like many systems with a loop in order to solve this business use case and add towards our productivity. And I think the point that he's trying to say is that, or I'm glad he gave me a chance to explain it. And I was happy about that. Because I think a lot of times my interviewers, they have these questions about me, but they're not willing to give me the chance to defend what I'm saying. And so, yeah, make sure you guys are working towards designing systems and having a chance at your company. If you're not telling your manager that, then you need to become your own leader in a use case. There's still use cases. Okay, yeah, I'm reading some of the old answers, but yeah. All right, so that's the end of that. I did want to read one more article about AI, which was on Claude talking about AI regulations. And I think it was quite interesting, guys, because as AI has gotten more advanced, it's now easier than ever for somebody to learn how to create a bomb, how to create a napalm. And so I would just like to bring awareness to what Claude is. Let me see. I'm trying to, oh my gosh. I want to bring awareness to this potential pitfall is that people who want to use AI for nefarious purposes are have a there it is have tremendous opportunity these days. And so, a case for targeted regulations. Let's just pull it up and make it big. Case for targeted regulations. Increasingly powerful AI systems have the potential to accelerate scientific progress, unlock new medical treatments, and grow the economy. I can't tell you guys how excited I am for new medical treatments with AI. I currently have a friend who was diagnosed with cancer, and I'm really happy. I even feel like it's worth me losing maybe perhaps my purpose in life, which is programming, in order to help some of these people. And so, but along the remarkable new capabilities of AI comes a significant risk. Governments should urgently take action on AI in the next 18 months. The window for proactive risk prevention is closing fast. Judicious, narrow, targeted regulation can allow us to get the best of both worlds, realizing the benefits of AI while mitigating the risk. Dragging our feet might lead to the worst of both worlds: poor design, knee jerk regulations that hamper progress while also failing to be effective at preventing risk. In this post, we suggest some principles for how governments can meaningfully reduce catastrophic risk while supporting innovation in AI thriving scientific and commercial sectors. Cool. It seems like everybody. Yeah, but it is what it is. Urgency. In the last year, AI systems have grown dramatically better at math, graduate level reasoning, and computer coding, along with many other capabilities. Inside AI companies, we see continued progress as yet undisclosed systems and results. These advances offer many possible applications, but progress in these same broad capabilities also bring with it the potential for destructive applications, either from the misuse of AI in domains such as cybersecurity or biology, or from the accidental and autonomous behavior of the AI system itself. So I guess they're talking about like there's people who could use AI in order to create bombs or whatever, and then there's AI maybe becoming so smart that it wants to make more strenuous decisions. Like if you've seen Claude being able to use the computer, right? Like what if Claude is using the computer in order to like donate your bank account to some health cause? And yeah, I don't know. Because yeah, when you talk about these models, if you guys know programming, that it is very tedious. And so yeah, I'll get back into it. In the realm of cyber capabilities, models have rapidly advanced on a broad range of coding tasks. Cyber offense evaluations on the Sweetbench software engineering task models have improved by being able to solve 1.96 of test set of real-world coding problems to 13% to 49% Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Internally, our Frontier Red Team has found that a current model can already assist on a broad range of cyber offense-related tasks. We expect that the next generation of models, which will be able to plan over long, multi-step tasks, will be more effective. On the potential for AI exacerbating CBRN, chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear misuse, the UK AI Safety Institute tested a range of models from industry actors, including Anthropic, and concluded that models can be used to obtain expert-level knowledge above biology and chemistry. For several models, replies to scientific questions were on par with given PhD-level experts. So imagine if somebody is able to bomb or napalm or do whatever. That's bad. AI systems have progressed dramatically in their understanding of the science in the last year. The widely used benchmark GPQA saw scores on the hardest section grow from 38% when it was released in November 2023 to 59% to 77% in September. 01 experts 81. Our frontal row team has found continued progress in CBRN capabilities. For now, the uplift of having access to frontier model relative to existing software and internet tools is still relatively small. However, it's growing rapidly as models advance in capabilities. The potential for misuse is likely to continue on a similar scaling trend. About a year ago, we warned that frontier models might pose real risk in the cyber and CBRN domains with 2 to 3 years based on the progress above. We believe we are now substantially closer to such risk. Socially careful regulation will soon be needed. So yeah, I don't know. How do you regulate this stuff? Because at the same time, it's like obviously other countries are building their models as well. Like every country wants to be the country that creates Gen AI first. I think it's important for us to stay on lead, but how do we create that? How do we create regulation that is safe? So a year in Anthropic's responsibility scaling policy, grappling with the catastrophic risks of AI systems is rife with uncertainty. We see in the initial glimmer of risk that could become serious in the near future, but we don't know exactly when the real dangers will arrive. We want to make critical preparations well in advance. In Anthropic, we try to deal with the challenge via our responsible scaling policy, an adaptive framework for identifying, evaluating, and mitigating catastrophic risk. The first principle of RSP is the strength of our safety and security measures increase proportion with defined capability thresholds that the AI systems meet. The if-then structure requires safety and security measures to be applied, but only the models become capable enough to warrant them. The second key idea is RSPT should be iterative. We regularly measure the capabilities of our models and rethink our security and safety approach in light of how we think, in light of how things have deployed. Anthropic has had formal RSP in place since September 2023, and other frontier models labs have, in varying degrees, adopted similar plans. RSPT serves as many useful purposes. They increase the developers' investment in computer security and safety evaluations. So I guess, yeah, providing more frameworks for measuring how better these models have become. Anything? Yeah, RSPC serves as a function for developers to flesh out the risk and threats of the models. So yeah, I guess publishing how much more smart, I guess, the models are and how they're performing is important. And having an RSP encourages developers to be transparent about their computer security and misuse practices. Yeah, I guess it's going to be something that most companies adopt into the future. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. RSPT are not intended to substitute for regulations, but as prototype for, based on our experience with RSPTs, we believe there are 3 elements that are key for effective AI regulation. Transparency. Currently, the public lawmakers have no way to verify if the AI company adherence to its RSPT or similar plans, know the outcomes for any test run as part of it. A simple and sensible step is to require companies to have a published RSP-like policy describing the high levels of their capabilities thresholds and related safeguards that are triggered when the model reaches them. Companies should also be required to publish a set of risk evaluations for each new generation of their AI systems, so as to create a public record of the risk of AI systems, best practice for mitigating those risks. Finally, there should be some mechanism for verifying the accuracy of these statements. Agree. Incentivizing better safety and security practices. Transparency alone does not guarantee robust policies. Companies could simply declare weak safety and security practice. AI regulation should be also incentivize companies to develop RSPCs that are effective at preventing catastrophes. So, yeah, this is kind of funny to me, guys. Like, I've worked at a company, I'm not going to say what it is, and I've heard horror stories about other people who worked at companies, just not to bring my But there's always this fight between making the business profitable and making it as safe as possible for their employees. And so it's a difficult balance, right? Because at the end of the day, if everybody gets fired and the business goes under, we're going to see a lot of people hating on how leadership handled the issue. And if the business focuses strictly on making money, then people get hurt. Um, People die in factories. So there should always be checks and balances. And I guess I don't know what incentivizes better safety and security practices, but I guess I have a question for you guys. Do you guys think that AI is capable of getting so smart that it causes harm to other human beings? Or do you think it's impossible that AI from its inception has been built to um, serve us, not harm us? And so it's hard to say, but yeah, for me, I would say I don't think the LLMs have the power to become sentient and cause harm. At least from what I have seen, I don't think it's going to come. I think we're reaching the limits of scaling, and so trying to think. I'm seeing my router go out, but yeah, I think we're seeing the. Okay, I'm just looking at my Wi-Fi connection. I think we're seeing some of the limits. Like, if you've seen some of these models, we have like a terabyte of parameters, and so and that's costing like 20 million or 20 billion, something crazy, in order to build these systems. And yeah, I think when you talk about something being in the billions, it's like you are pooling the entire world's resources together in order to make this stuff. And so I don't know, but we will find ways to make better applications. So simplicity and focus. Whatever regulation we arise should be as surgical as possible. They must not impose burdens that are unnecessary or unrelated to issues at hand. One of the worst things that can be happen is to cause a catastrophic risk prevention and a link forming between regulations that need to prevent risk and burdensome ideological rules. Any bills or laws should also be simple to understand. Implementing complexity creates confusion and makes it hard to predict what will happen in practice. So yeah, I guess they're saying we want simple practices. The importance of getting this right soon. It is critical over the next year that policymakers, the AI industry, safety advocates, civil society, and lawmakers work together to develop an effective regulatory framework that meets the conditions above and agreeable in a wide range of stakeholders. In the US, this will be ideally happen at the federal level, though urgency may demand it instead of developed by individual states. The same applies to other governments around the world who are simultaneously considering AI regulations. Could you imagine, like, I don't know, one of these dictator companies making AI that destroys the world, like, because they don't want AI regulations? But this regulatory framework won't be perfect, and we are cautious that effective regulations is very hard to design. But getting this right is essential to realizing AI benefits and addressing its risk. Facts and questions: should there be state and federal and combination of state and federal regulations in the U.S.? But they're saying California tried once and legislated the topic made some significant progress via SB 1040. Though we were positive about it overall, it was imperfect and wasn't able to garner the support of critical mass of the stakeholders. So yeah, I guess they're just saying how regulation isn't all that right now. What about regulations in other countries? Are beginning to think carefully about AI regulations. We think principles approach we've outlined were sufficiently simple and pragmatic that they could be helpful in the outside of use as well. That's interesting. Why not regulate AI by use case rather than trying to regulate general models? Regulation by use case doesn't make sense for the form and format in which modern AI applications are offered. On the consumer side, AI such as Claude AI and ChatGPT are offered to consumers as a full general product, which can write code, summarize documents, when presumably being misused for catastrophic risk. Because of these generalities, it makes more sense to regulate on the fundamental properties of the underlying models, like what safety measures it includes. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I guess I'm done with the article. But yeah, yeah, I think it's kind of hard to regulate AI models because you saw that Facebook just open sourced their Olama model. So if you wanted to train it to, I don't know, say illegal things, it is very possible. There's probably already a dark web LLM model, and so yeah, it is what it is. I'm going. Oh my gosh, I just messed that up. I just let me pull. I'm gonna end it there. Pull that back down. But yeah, if you guys have any more questions, I'll be happy to answer them as I set up my computer or my web browser to get back to where we were. Bruh. I hope I haven't messed this up. Am I joining Seattle? I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. Seattle has so much more to do than Memphis. So I enjoy that, enjoy my freedom in order to be able to do whatever I want. I think culturally, Memphis is kind of no, Seattle is kind of a shot for me. But yeah, I like it. It doesn't rain as much as you would think, but when it does rain, it's kind of sad. The advantage of AI search should have over traditional Google search is that it can learn and it's not strictly algorithmic. Mm, I feel like I don't know. I feel like it seems to me that I wouldn't use. Actually, there are a lot of people in this world who do not use ChatGPT because they're scared it's going to take their job. And I used to be one of those people. And now that I use it, I'm like, man, take my job from me, man. No, like take all this crappy stuff that I hate, take it away. Um, oh, man, I'm feeling like I'm an old guy, man. With this internet. There it is. Trying to pull this. Yeah, do that. Ugh. I wanted to talk about Discord laying off 20% of their workforce. And it's kind of funny to me that somebody asked me, should we be afraid for AI? I mean, for layoffs. I said no. And then the layoffs happened. And I don't know. To be honest, I think that is. I think that was because I don't even know. Like, I'm sure Dropbox sells their, what is the word? They make products for other companies, which is to store their data, and it's very simple and intuitive. But I haven't seen Dropbox come out with this new feature that would justify them making more money. So it might depend on the company. But I did want to read this article about it for you guys. Let's see if we can get to the bottom of it. Why Dropbox ended up firing all these employees. But all right. So my name is Rami, and we are talking about Dropbox laying off all, or not all their employees, excuse me, laying off 20% of their employees. If you know me, I used to work for Twitch and I was laid off. And when I was laid off, I got 2 months of severance package. And what else did they give me? I did get some like tools in order to find a job. It was actually pretty humane. I'm not gonna lie, the first week when I got laid off, I was in tears. I was like, man, they took my dream job away from me, guys. Like the free food. They took the free food away. And so it was devastating. But life after Twitch has been tougher. I'm not gonna lie. But I think regardless if you get into any of these companies, it really doesn't matter. So yeah, let's take a look at somebody that has been highly affected by layoffs. Yeah, let's do it like that. Dropbox is laying off 20% of their staff. Dropbox is laying off 20% of the workforce, includes as the cloud company undergoes what CEO Drew Hudson calls a transitional period. In a letter to staff, Houston said that a reduction in headcount would impact 528 people. The goal, he added, was to make cuts in areas where Dropbox has overinvested while designing a flatter, more efficient team structure. If you guys have a job right now in software engineering, I feel like maybe I'm biased, right? But we're working a lot harder than what people have been working in the past because there's just more pressure. There's a lot of people who want a job. Like I was talking to my Uber recruiter, and he was telling that his boss and managers were telling him if he wanted to take a break, he could, because there were many people lined up that wanted his job, right? That's why they were treating them like that. And so, yeah, some of you guys might be mad because you don't have a job right now. And me, right now, I feel kind of mad because I'm getting overworked. It's part of it. As CEO, I take full responsibility for this decision and circumstance that led up to it. Truly starts those impacted by this change. So, yeah, I don't know if I feel this. It's like, I guess they always start empathetic, guys, but I promise you, when they do this for the third time, when they love people for the third time, they just want to send you an email about that point because that was a lot of pain. He wrote, this market is moving fast. Investors are pouring their hundreds of millions of dollars into this place. This both validates the opportunity we've been pursuing and underscores the need for even more urgency, even more aggressive investments, and decisive actions. According to the filing with the SEC, Dropbox estimates its layoff totals to cash expenditure of $63 million to $68 million on the layoffs, primarily in the forms of severance and benefits. Okay, so they're giving $68 million in benefits and recognizes $47 million to $52 million of incremental. So I guess they're getting $47 million of incremental expenses. I don't know. Maybe I'm not reading that right. Most of the payouts will occur in Q4 2024 with a reminder to be recognized in H1 2025. Affected employees. By the way, if you've been working at a company for 10 years, usually your severance package is super lit. Like maybe you get 6, 8, 9 months of severance, and then you probably have like over 100K. Or not, I mean, like your checks are hefty, so it gives you a long time to figure that stuff out. Affected employees will see severance, equity, transition payments, as well as certain healthcare benefits and job placement services. Dropbox has struggled to grow in recent months, losing market shares to rivals, including Box and Google Drive. Um, I would think Notion is probably should be up there on that list, but whatever. In its most recent fiscal quarter, the company added only 63,000 new users, a fraction of its roughly 8 million user base, while revenue growth slid to a slow single digit. In Q2, Dropbox saw the lowest quarter of growth in history, 2% year over year growth to 634 million. And as of August, the company shares had lost more than 20% of their value year to date. We continue to see softening demands and macro headwinds in our core business. Houston wrote, while I'm proud of the progress we've made in the last couple of years, in some parts of the business, we are still not delivering at the level our customers deserve and performing in the line with our industry peers. Okay. The layoffs come a year after Dropbox let go of roughly 500 employees, so they already did a round of layoff, guys. And then the company increasingly invests in its AI technologies. Dropbox recently expanded its AI-powered smart organization and search tools, Dropbox Dash, with enterprise-focused features, including data governance control. In this letter, Houston said Dropbox plans to share more details on high-level changes in its 2025 strategy in coming days. All right. So, yeah. So they've done another round of layoffs. And if you've seen, I think more companies are doing this. I think I heard of Amazon saying that they want to not hire, they want to lay off like 20,000 managers or something super crazy. And if you don't know, managers at Amazon make 300 to almost $500,000 every year. And so they're getting a lot of money out of there. But at the same time, you're going to have people having 20 engineers all under one manager, which I think is a crappy experience. Guys, I can't even tell you how important it is to have a manager that believes in you. It's really important for your career. Let me see. There you go. I'm trying to get more face to face with you guys. But yeah, it's really important to have a manager that believes in you. It's important to be able to work on important projects. To any of the people that got laid off by Dropbox, to segue back into this, any people that got laid off from Dropbox, your life is not over. You know, it's always up from here. If you guys saw in the .com bust, many of the companies such as Amazon and Netflix that were created started because these guys were in a recession, right? When you're in a recession, you have nowhere to go. Sometimes you're crazy enough to start a business. And so, and I think right now is the best time to start a business because we're seeing the next tools that will change the world are out today, the models. We just don't know how to use them just yet properly. However, this is, we will understand it more and more. And many businesses, like if you think about Netflix wasn't the first company to put movies online and share them via streaming, but they were the first ones to do it right. And there are many businesses that have been failing for years that are now going to be good. The world has provided enough, or AI has provided enough resources for it to be possible. So, yeah, really sucks. But yep, better days are on the way. And I guess I'll end it there. Let's take a look at what some people are saying. Is no free food a deal breaker for you? Absolutely not. The company that I'm working at right now doesn't have free food. And I don't really care. To be honest, I told you guys I went to an HBCU and the cafeteria food there was trash. No, I won't say it's trash. But in comparison to what I have now, I would say it's pretty bad. Netflix, I don't know if Netflix has free food, but they give a hefty salary to their employees. So something to think about. Like, I think, to be honest with you guys, when I think about what I want from a company, it's generally salary. Like, if you pay me well and you surround me with smart people, I think those two things are top of my concern. I would love to have an org where people have great teammates. I feel like, not to talk shit, but I feel like I have always been on teams with people who are selfish. The people who, um, I don't know. I kind of like to consider myself like a Rajon Rondo type of engineer, right? Like, you think about Rajon Rondo, or like, what was his name? He was on the Bucks, but like, he made a career out of playing defense and passing the ball. Two things that are not flashy. It's not dunking. You don't get the $1 million contracts because of that, but it really made his team better. And so, um, yeah, uh, it is what it is. I guess that's all the things that I've had for you guys for today. I just realized I've run out of things to talk about. So, if you guys have anything you want to ask, I'll answer it before I get up out of here. With Dropbox, with all that storage, could they leverage it to spin off products like competitors to Roblox, where they can easily store user-generated content? I'm really not. I'm gonna be honest with you. I might not be the best guy for this question because I'm not sure. I don't use Dropbox, but I imagine people who use Dropbox are like enterprises. And when you sell the enterprises, you can make a lot of money. So yeah. Let me read it one more time. With storage could leverage it to spin off products like a competitor to Roblox, where they can easily store and user-generated content. Yeah, not sure. Honestly, I think when programmers think about coding, they usually use something like AWS S3 or Cloudflare R2, right? That makes more sense. I think Dropbox is more for human beings than it is for programmers. So I don't think it would be the best use case for what you're talking about right here. Anything you're talking about programming generated content, then I think, generally S3 is probably better than Dropbox. If you did big tech for 15 years, you may not need to work again, eh? Yeah, you're right. Actually, it depends. I live in Seattle right now, and if you work in big tech for 15 years, unless you made it all the way to like staff level, you're not gonna buy a house, right? Like, you might be one wealthy individual, but you're not going to necessarily be making millions every uh every every month. So, something to think about. And do you want the glory? I don't know, guys. I do feel like I would love to be a part of a product that is like WhatsApp, right? You have 1 million users, right? To be a part of that. I think that's what a lot of programmers dream about, is that it's kind of like our championship, right? When you win the championship, it's like you created a product that reached millions of users. And so I would like to be a part of that. I would love to be able to not to work for months out of my life or years. I think that's why I enjoy content creation. This is definitely, I'm not making any money from this channel, but definitely I have hopes that one day I can make money from this. And yeah, and escape my job. I think the end goal for me is to own my job because whenever no, I've heard people at Google talk about how much they dislike the politics of big companies, and so yeah, uh, it's kind of tough. Buying North Seattle, South Seattle, Redmond, Bellevue, like Renton. Yeah, yeah. Seattle has some places you can like pay, but it just like here's the point I'm trying to make. If you have a family, you have a family. Like let's say you have a family of three, and you want all of them to have a room in a house. Like you're gonna have to bust your ass. You're gonna have to bust your ass, dog. Um, my product manager got all my glory. Somebody told me about that, like product manager stealing credit and all that. Fun fact: as I had my interview for Meta, they told me there are no product managers, and I was like, "That's crazy." So every engineer has to think like a product manager, which I don't know. Hopefully, I get to see it one day. Definitely having that interview with Meta made me uh, made it one of my dream companies to work for, just because of how well they treated me. Even if I'm not like a good candidate, I just felt like I was treated with so much respect. Like they sent out a survey to me, right? Gave me a chance to talk about my interviewers, and so um, yeah, really happy with that. But other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for joining the live. Uh, I'm gonna now that I'm done with Meta and all those other companies, I'm gonna start streaming more. Um, yeah, if you have any ideas on what you want to see from me, always put it in the comments. I would love to do more of what you guys like. And but other than that, I'm out of here. Peace.